Hi again, YouTubers. So this is a review on a foundation that a lot of people have been talking about lately. Actually, there's been two that a lot of people have been talking about, and I will review both of them. This is the review on the Dior Skin Star. Wait, am I looking at the wrong side? Yeah, Dior Skin Star Fluid Foundation. Studio Makeup, Spectacular Brightening, Weightless Perfection with Sunscreen, Broad Spectrum SPF 30, Long Wear. I have this in the color 020. And this is what it looks like. Packaging is very nice, typical Dior. I have this on right now. I will insert a clip of how I apply this right here. When I purchased this, I was kind of coerced into it. Not really. I don't have to be coerced into buying foundations, but I was inspired by some people that I saw on Instagram that I follow, both Colleen Rothschild and then also Vanessa, which is the Bombshell Suite. Both of them had post pictures of themselves wearing this, and it looked beautiful, gorgeous, amazing, wow. So I was in. Now, when I purchased it, it is $50, which is pretty pricey for a foundation. It's neither here nor there. Some of them are more expensive, some of them are less expensive. It just kind of depends on what you're looking for. I feel as if the color line is great. I think they have like 14 colors in the color line, which I think is awesome. I had an easier time with this matching myself than some of the others. They had decent descriptions on the Sephora website of how to match yourselves. Also using the Color IQ, if you've never used that, that helped me out a little bit too. I've been both matched in store, and then I put a foundation in on the website that sometimes tells me what a color is for me. As I said, the packaging is absolutely gorgeous, glass with a very nice pump to it. Very typical. It applies very, very easily. If you see in the clip, I put 3 pumps onto my little thing, and I used my IT Cosmetics Flawless something brush, 115 maybe. I'll try and put the link for that below as well. I forget what brush, what the number is of the brush. It's a brush I love though. And so I put the pumps on, and then I felt like I needed a little bit extra, so you'll see me kind of stop and switch hands, and I added an extra pump on there because I just felt like I needed a little bit more. My brush does eat up a good amount of foundation. That always happens when you use a brush. I have tried this with both a brush and a sponge. I use my Beauty Blender. Why do I always have trouble with that? Sponge on this as well. I prefer the brush. I tried it with my fingers once. It was fine. It took me a little while to do this review, I'm going to be honest, because I had some issues with this foundation at first. First things first is, strangely enough, at this time of year when it is going into fall, for some reason my skin is going from not quite as oily to a little bit more oily right now, and I don't know why. It's kind of random. I talked to Colleen actually about it, and I've changed my skincare just a little bit, just changed how much I'm using and some little things to help out with that. And let me know if you want an update on that. I'll try and do that too. But so I was conflicted about this because I used it a few times in the beginning, and the first time I used it with my brush, which is 99% of what I do, and throughout the day it kind of broke up on my forehead a little bit. And keeping in mind I wasn't really using a setting powder, I was using just a bronzer and a blush, and that was kind of what I was using as my setting powder throughout the summer, as opposed to caking on a lot of layers in the summertime. So I was like, oh, this breaks down. It got kind of patchy and looked a little bit broken down. So then I tried it with a primer, and it worked okay with a primer. It stayed decent. I still saw a little bit of patchiness, but I wasn't sure why. Then I tried it with the sponge. It was okay with the sponge, but much sheerer coverage. This is a decent medium coverage foundation. You can build it up to be a little bit more full coverage if you need it in those areas. Just be careful and make sure you set those areas. And this is what I have found to be key. I need to set this foundation, and I need to set it with a matte powder. The finish on this, I would say, it is not a dewy foundation. It is not a matte foundation. It is what I would consider to be a satin foundation. If you think of a lipstick, or if you think of an eyeshadow, a satin has a slight sheen to it, and it's not quite matte, but it definitely isn't like a dewy or glowy or glittery type thing. It does apply very easily, smoothly. It has a very, very velvety feel to it. Not quite as velvety of a feel as the YSL, but it definitely has a great feel of it on your skin. It feels very weightless. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin at all. The powder I have been using is the MAC Studio Fix powder. I went back to that this year. I only use it in my T-zone. That's it with this. And as I said, this is what I have on right now. And I am now really, really enjoying this foundation. Now, is this at the top of my list of foundations? It is definitely one that I like and one that I will use. I think the color I got matches me very well, matches my skin tone, matches down my neck very well. And that's the key part, is the color matches great. I did find, as I said, after setting it, it doesn't break up on my forehead, which is where I was having the issues. It now lasts beautifully throughout the day and just looks flawless. It really does give you a flawless satin look to your skin. Not too dewy and not too matte. I think I've said that way too many times. But it really is a nice foundation. I think if I was going out to purchase only one foundation, in this price range, I still prefer the Guerlain Perfection one. I just think that one has an amazing staying powder, whether I set it or not. The problem with them is they don't have a very good color range. So, and that one's like $10 more than this. So this is a very nice foundation. I really, really am enjoying it. And I don't know, at the end of the season, I may end up repurchasing this. I'll let you guys know. I'll pull out my little thing. So pigmentation on this, I think, is awesome. I think the pigmentation is perfect. It is dead on. It just gives you a beautiful finish, and it's just great color selection. Like really, really great as far as that. Good, solid 5 out of 5. Texture is just flawless. It's so, so, so soft and so amazing feeling, and just gives you like next to no like heaviness feeling on your face of foundations. I'm not somebody who usually cares. I could slap it on and it doesn't bother me. It doesn't feel like anything to me. But some people say that they feel it. This you really don't feel on your skin. It's just really great texture. It just really feels amazing and soft and velvety. So it's a good solid 5 out of 5. Longevity, I'm going to say it's a 3.5 out of 5, because once I figured out how to make it work, it does stay all day. But I think if you have oily combination skin, this is definitely much more of a foundation, like a simple foundation for a normal skin. If you are dry, it might go a little patchy on you, so you have to use a really, really good moisturizer ahead of time. If you are more combination oily, then I think you definitely need a good setting powder. If you do those things, the longevity on it is great. It's a 4.5, 5. But overall, you have to make it work to make this stay long. So that's why I say 3.5. Application, I find it easy to apply with a brush. Very simple, very easy. Use however many pumps work for you. Everyone is different on what they like because of the coverage they want to get out of this. So application's a good solid 4.5 out of 5. Packaging, I always love Dior packaging. It's just gorgeous. The pretty blue with his initials, the Christian Dior initials, the way it's embossed into this. I just think it's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous packaging. So 5 out of 5. Price, it's $50. That is expensive for a foundation. I would say probably a norm would be $40. Whereas you can buy drugstore ones for, you know, I don't even remember. I haven't bought a drugstore one in a long while. You can buy them, but they're on the lower end, and then you have the higher ends like the Guerlains and things like that, the Giorgio Armani's. But I still think this is on the higher end, so I think this is only a 3.5 out of 5. Product overall, I think once I made it work, I really, really, really loved it. I think it's kind of a, like in between. It's a good 4. Let's say it that way. It's a good solid 4 out of 5 because I do like it now, and I do like the look of it, and I do love the finish of it and the way it looks on my skin. And I will say this too. A big thing for me is I want a foundation that when I am not sitting down with lighting and at a camera, that looks very natural in everyday life and out on everyday occasions. And this does do that. It looks beautiful, and it really does look like your skin, but better. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please let me know if you have any other questions on this product, and thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.